Hey, how are you? My name's Phil, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, and this is another entry in the Improving at 14 series, and this is like number 5, I believe, at this point. Series took a little bit of time off as I was trying to think of better video ideas for it, and I do have a very important one for people trying to get into the end game, and this one is about potting. Now, the term potting is something you might have heard thrown around a lot. If you don't know what it means using a potion inside of DPS to increase your damage. Now, you might have seen potions in the game before as a way to heal yourself, but in the later game content, potions are a way to increase your damage. Now, right here, this is the current potion that the game uses. The technical term is it is a medicine, and the full name of the current tier of medicine that you will be using is a grade 6 tincture of whatever your main stat is. We'll get into that in a little bit, but the bottom line is that potions are a consumable item that will boost your main stat by a solid amount, typically 10% at the moment. I believe it's 8% if it's a normal quality, but you always want to do high quality because it boosts by more. It will boost the main stat of your combat jobs, and it will increase the damage that you will deal inside of your burst windows. Now, if you are a melee or a tank, you will be using potions that increase your strength. If you are a caster, it's been so long since I've had to open my menus for these videos, I apologize for going the wrong places. If you're a caster, or any of these magic or DPS, you will get intelligence potions to boost your main stat. If you are a Fizz ranged or a ninja, very important, ninja and the Fizz ranged will all get dexterity potions, because ninjas technically use dexterity as the main stat. Healers go for potions of mind. And those are the 4. Tanks melees use strength. Ninja and the Fizz ranged use dexterity. Healers use mind. Casters use intelligence. That's the bottom line here. Now, why do you care about potting? What's the deal, Felt? It's like 10% of one stat. I have things that boost my personal damage by like 10% right here with Lance Charge, and another 10% with Dragonside. What's an extra 10% matter? Well, it's an extra 10% on top of all of that. Meaning that it is an extra 10% of your base stat, meaning that the base number that is going into those other 10% is getting higher. Meaning that it'll be doing even more damage. On top of that, it'll make meeting DPS checks easier in extremes, savages, and ultimates. Or it can just improve your personal DPS if that's something that you personally care about, is making your own personal numbers higher, which is something that I like. But the bottom line is it can make clearing fights easier by helping you meet DPS checks. In the early days of Prog, and the days of trying to get fast reclears, maybe it'll help you skip a more annoying mechanic later on in the fight. Think third channeling overflow inside of P2S, or maybe even Death's Toll in P3S. The bottom line is they're very important to boost your damage to make your life just a lot easier. Now, potions do have a cooldown. They're not something you can just spam all the time. They have a 4.5 minute cooldown, actually, and that's very important. Meaning that you can only use so many potions per fight. Now, in the current tier, most fights have an enrage of, I want to say 10-ish minutes is about average for enrage. I know P2s and P3s are a bit longer of fights, and P4 has a bit shorter of a fight. However, the bottom line is you can typically only potion 2 times inside of a savage fight right now. Ultimates have different rules. I'm not talking about them because I don't have much experience with them, so I apologize for that. And extremes, your kill times can vary drastically depending on how fast your group can kill them. However, on average, their enrages are a little longer than savages, so you can still probably fit about 2 potions in the fight. Now, why does this matter? With that 4.5 minute cooldown, you only want to be using it at important times. And what are important times? During your opener, when all of the party buffs have been going out, making everyone stronger. Or during your 2-minute burst window, when all those party buffs come back up to make everybody stronger again. Now, why does this matter? Well, with the 4.5 minute cooldown, if you use your potion in your opener at 4 minutes, your potion will have 30 seconds left on its cooldown, meaning that you cannot potion again until the 6-minute window, meaning that the fight has to last at least to that point. And now, if you're a job like, say, Dragoon or Reaper, both of whom have a slightly stronger 2-minute burst than 0-minute burst, meaning that their openers, while powerful, are not quite as strong as they will be at the 2-minute window when they have more resources built up. In the case of Dragoon, you're going to be able to go into your Life of the Dragon window and use Stardiver. In the case of Reaper, you will be able to be using 3 Lemur Shrouds back to back to back, maybe fitting in 3 Communios underneath a potion. And while it's in some instances better to be using your potion at that point, if you can get in more potions in a fight by using them at different times, that will be more worthwhile. So if the fight doesn't last to 8 minutes, you need to be using your potion in your opener. Now, why am I saying 8 minutes? Well, if you use your potion at the 2-minute window to boost your second Life of the Dragon window for Dragoon, for example, it's the job I'm on, so that's the example I'm giving. You will not be able to potion again until 8 minutes into the fight. And if the fight isn't lasting that long, you will have missed out on an entire potion window. So while technically it is less value to potion in your opener on Dragoon, if you will only be getting in 2 potions, if you do that, that is still more damage than if you potioned at another point. Potioning during your opener, and then potioning at a 6-minute window is more damage than only potioning at the 2-minute window. I swear. Boosting your damage by that solid 10% twice is better than only doing it once. That is the way the math works out. You will always want to try and fit in 2 potions. Now that's just the general basics of it. When each job potions just drastically changes based on the job. Dragoon potions after like their second GCD, as does Reaper. Meanwhile, Monk does it after their first GCD. Quite a few jobs will pre-pull potion because they have other buttons they need to be hitting in their opener. An important thing to remember about potions is that potions will take up an entire weave window. So the amount of time between 2 casts, it will take up that entire time. It is a very long animation. It will take a very long time to potion. So always keep that in mind when using them. When you're playing a job that's really fast, like Ninja, Monk, and Samurai, you can often clip your GCD, meaning that you're delayed in pushing your next GCD because of the potion window. But it is still very important to potion. It is worthwhile to clip for a potion, I swear. It's not something you want to do. You want to learn how to play around your ping so that you're not clipping when you potion as much as possible. However, it is still something to keep in mind. This video got a little longer than I intended. The bottom line is, use potions if you're playing in harder content. If the fight's not lasting till 8 minutes, make sure you always do it in the opener in 6-minute burst windows. If it lasts 8 minutes or more, it's at your discretion. But doing it at the 2 and 8-minute window is fine at that point. Just make sure that you're trying to fit in 2 potions per fight. There's been another issue of improving at 14. Hopefully this has helped some people who might have some questions out there. If you have any more questions about potions and potting and any of that stuff, leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you want to see more. Like the video if you want to see more of this series. It takes a lot of time for me to make episodes because it's hard to put together all the information that I want to. But either way, thanks for watching and hanging out, and I hope to catch you in the next one.